One of the Big Ten's 3 first-year head coaches set to join us now. Kristen Kelsay, ready to get things underway in East Lansing, of course. This is not new territory for Kristen, just a new job. Spartan setter early in the 2010s, an assistant coach at Michigan State, at Northwestern, and most recently at Minnesota. Had the chance to talk with Keegan Cook about Kristen on Monday. He said he knew this opportunity was coming. He's going to offer all sorts of advice, except for that first match when you actually play Minnesota. As we welcome Kristen into your first Big Ten Volleyball Media Days, welcome back.
Thank you. This is incredible for the Big Ten Conference to have this for women's volleyball. It just sets the stage, and we're grateful to be here.
As I mentioned, East Lansing is familiar ground for you, but the job itself is not. So how do you describe the craziness of what your life has been like since you were announced as the next head coach?
You know, it's been a wild 6 months, and yet in some ways, you know, I've been gone from East Lansing for 6 years. And in a lot of ways, I've lived a lot of life. I've learned so much, right? My time at Northwestern and VCN and Minnesota has prepared me to step into this role as head coach. And then there's times where I'm driving around campus and I'm walking around and I have flashbacks to being a freshman, you know, student athlete on campus. And so a lot of nostalgia, a lot of excitement, but mostly immense gratitude to be back.
When you think back to your first match as a freshman on campus and you think about how nervous you were, what do you think that comparison is like to how you'll feel when you coach your first match for Michigan State?
Probably similar, you know, probably similar. I've had a couple of those like pinch me moments, you know, where it's like, wow, this is pretty special. And I remember feeling that as a freshman under Kathy George, you know, starting for the first time. And, you know, I'm prepared and excited for that first moment as head coach.
Is it impossible to describe how special it becomes for your first head coaching job at a major power conference to come where you played at your alma mater?
I couldn't have written the script any better, you know, to be back home where this will be my 10th year in East Lansing, my 10th season coaching in the Big Ten. Like, it's really a dream come true in ways to have so many Spartan family members in the athletic department and in the community who are still there and who have these memories and these stories of Michigan State. My time at Michigan State, you know, people who came after me at Michigan State. So to be back and have the privilege of now leading this program as the head coach is the best ending to the story I could have asked for.
One of the buzzwords in all of college sports is culture, and every coach wants to build and install a culture that they think works for their program. What would you like yours to be?
You know, we're really building our foundation right now in this next chapter of Spartan Volleyball. We talk a lot about our mission, and our mission for Michigan State Volleyball is to be a winning program, and that's what we're looking to do, right? That's the Michigan State Volleyball I know and love, and that's why I'm back. And we also talk a lot about our core values and who we are going to be as young people, as staff members, as coaches, as support staff, as we're all going to be committed to these core values in our program that are going to allow us to live and build the culture and the foundation we want to build.
I know it really hasn't been that long since you played. I mean, it was in the Big Ten Network era, so it couldn't be that long ago. Have any of your players gone back to watch your highlights? And if so, have any offered critiques?
I don't think they have. I know they've gone through the whole social media gamut. I know my staff found a commercial that I did back in the day with the Big Ten, and that was a little embarrassing. But no, I couldn't have asked for a better group to start this journey with.
The good news is your staff knows who's in charge and the players want playing time, so the critiques can't be that bad if they do see the video, right?
True, and we didn't have volumetrics back in the day, so they've got to go like deep into YouTube if they really want to find it.
I learned about volumetrics from Dave Shondell on Monday. Let's dive into your roster and your team a little bit. You lost both setters and the top 2 attackers, obviously, from last year's roster. What was the approach in filling those spots? And today, obviously, it's different than it was 5 or 10 years ago when you can fill those spots with match-ready players through the portal. Yeah,
I really wanted to complement the roster that we have. So I wanted to get into our program and get into the gym and see what are the strengths of this team, right? And what are some weaknesses? We're going to have a lot of position battles this fall, and I'm really excited for that because we've brought in quite a few additions. Some of them incoming freshmen, some of them transfers. You know, I brought in one transfer in January, a libero, knowing we had to replace Nalani, who was an all-star. And from there, then I really said, what do we have and where do we need to complement this roster that we have? And that's what we did. And so we're really fired up to begin practice in just a couple of days.
And you have some international flavor on your roster as well. Tell me about the countries represented and what those players are like.
Yeah, it brings so much perspective to our program, right? You're going to meet one here, Zuzanna, in a little bit. So well-spoken and just so mature. You know, these athletes have been playing volleyball a very long time in a very different context. And so to have have their perspective on our team. We've got athletes coming from Turkey and Poland and Czech Republic and Canada and New Zealand, right? Like halfway across the country, and they understand the privilege it means to be a Michigan State Spartan, and they appreciate that. And so their loyalty to not to me, but to the program and most importantly, the university has been astounding.
You mentioned Zuzanna Kulig here as one of your player reps after a fantastic 2024, top 5 in the league in total blocks, top 10 all-time MSU seasons in both blocks and hitting percentage. What makes her so effective?
You know, she's got this physicality, right, that you need in this conference. The best conference country, the most physical conference, right? So she brings this just foundation of physicality, but she's also such an awesome hard worker. And that's one thing I've learned this spring is through ups and downs, right? She is all in and she's team first. And I think that's a really unique perspective for a young person to have, especially with the success that she had last year.
How helpful is that for a coach, especially a first-year head coach, to have one of your best players also be your hardest worker, and you can simply look at some of the newcomers or the younger players and show them this is exactly what it takes? It's
really all you can ask for, and this team as a whole, when I walked in day one in January, has committed so consistently to our values and to what we're asking that we've added a lot of players this summer, and we're not in the gym with them this summer, but I have no doubts our team, with the foundation that we built, has brought them in seamlessly.
Evie Doezema also here with you, a self-described utility player in her own words. What does that mean to you?
I think Evie's about to have a breakout season. She's done a little of everything, right? She's played opposite, she's played middle, she's played outside, and we really had her on the pin this spring where I think her strengths shine. Evie is a Spartan. She has been now 3 different staff. She committed to Michigan State really early. She was at summer camp back when I was an assistant, right? So I've known her a long time, and she is your true Spartan and a true leader on our team.
Kristen, how do you approach the start of the year and feel like what it is that you need to accomplish before we get into what you know is going to be an absolute gauntlet in league play?
It's really just the blueprint of who we want to be, right? I know that it's not all going to happen in week 1 or day 1, but we're going to set the foundation for not only this year 1, but for this next chapter of Spartan volleyball and to be a winning volleyball program. And so that'll be with teaching the skills, but also will be with building our foundation through relationships and our values and a lot of hard work.
I did mention the conference opener that comes at your most recent stop. How much have you thought about that? What do you think that'll be like?
It's full circle. To open my first match as head coach in the Big Ten against Minnesota, a place that I love really dearly with people, Keegan and those players that I poured my heart into for 2 years. And I think it'll be a really special moment.
As someone who's been a player assistant and now a head coach in this league, what's the best way to describe what Big Ten volleyball has been and what it is today as we get ready for the 2025 season?
And it's in a league of its own, honestly. The Big Ten, through what you're seeing here with our media days and the support that we have in this conference, right, from our commissioner all the way down from our schools and our ADs, is really unmatched. And I think that's why I've never left, right? It's a privilege to say I've been in the Big Ten my whole coaching career, and it's a privilege to be in a conference with this caliber of coaches, with these caliber of schools, and this caliber of support. It's really unique, and I'm very grateful to be here.
How do you put into perspective the growth that you've seen in this sport and the popularity from the day that you first stepped on campus as a freshman in 2010, now 15 years later? Tremendous.
I tell our athletes all the time, there's no better time to be a women's volleyball player, right? From the growth that we've seen in the sport, from the viewership with the Big Ten Network and with the finals, right, to Nebraska playing in a stadium, to the pro leagues that we have in the U.S. now. What a platform our young people have to be women's volleyball players, on top of being a Michigan State Spartan in the Big Ten. And so even from when I played, now 10 years ago to where we are now, it's an incredible platform that these young women have to really not only tell their story, but to be part of this building and growth in our sport.
And the power of female head coaches as well. On Monday, we heard from Harper Murray and Rebecca Alec at Nebraska talking about the power that they feel with Danny Busboom-Kelly in charge. And a year ago, we saw Katie Schumacher-Cauley become the first ever female head coach to win a Division I women's volleyball national title. How proud are you to now be part of that group?
incredibly humbled to be part of this group. I remember there was a year Kathy George was the only female in the head coach's picture at Media Day. And so now last night to be standing among these women giants next to me, it was one of those goosebump moments. And it's a privilege. You know, there's 5 of us who are coaching at our alma mater, women. And I think that just shows women can do it. And if you see her, you can be her.
Kristen, at year's end, how will you define success for Michigan State in your first go-around?
We will define success if we committed to improvement every day, every match, right? We're laying this blueprint, this foundation for this program. So as long as our staff and our athletes are committed to that growth and we live our values and we don't just talk about them, but it's a real commitment to showing up every day as our most authentic selves, working to be the best volleyball players and coaches we can be, and representing the Spartan community with pride, then it will have been a success.
I know it's not a welcome back to the Big Ten, but welcome inside as a head coach. So thrilled to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, much more on Michigan State volleyball still to come. The players' perspective now as we send it over once again to Elena and Holly.
Thanks so much, Rick. We're joined now by Evie Doezema and Zuzanna Kulig. Welcome to Big Ten Media Days.
Thank you.
Not your first time, Evie.
No.
This is your second time here, but you're joined by a new teammate that's her first time here and a new head coach. How'd you help prepare the rest of the Michigan State squad to coming to Media Days today?
Wow. Well, I just was so honored to be invited back. I'm so lucky to be here and experience this again because it's such a special thing for us to have in the Big Ten. I mean, as the only volleyball conference who gets to do it. And yeah, I think the biggest thing I tried was just to calm nerves and talk about all we have to do is come in here and talk about how proud of our program we are and how excited we are for the season and just relax. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think she helped me a lot with calm my nerves. I'm an international student, so English is not my first language. So obviously it was hard for me to even think about coming here and speak on live TV in front of people. But she did a great job with that.
How has the transition be from growing up in Poland, playing volleyball, to the style that we play here in the Big Ten?
It's been a journey, to be honest. I remember 2 years ago when I came here, I didn't like it at first, to be honest. It was such a big of a culture shock, and everyone suddenly was speaking English to me. Like, I was not prepared for that. But after 2 years, I can finally say that I fall in love with this country, with this culture. I met so many amazing people that support me on my journey. Yeah.
It feels like a new chapter. We heard your head coach talk, just new energy. How does it feel to you guys?
It feels amazing. We're so blessed to have Kristen Kelsay back in the gym, back at her home, her roots. And she just brings that level of team spirit, school spirit back because she just has so much love and passion for this place and for us as people and just watching us grow as students and women and not just volleyball players.
I think we can also call her our really good friend. I can call her at any time of the day. I can come to her office, sit on the couch and just talk about not only volleyball, just about life.
Mm-hmm. Evie, it's been really fun to watch your career so far as a Spartan. You've played all across the net in every single position, so hats off to you for that.
Thank you.
How have you been able to what's your mindset going into that, knowing you're able to jump in any position, and how are you able to adjust so quickly?
I mean, with Kristen coming in, I basically said, hey, here I am. I can run anything for you. What do you want to do? And I'm really blessed that she wants to put me back on the pin. I love the pin. It's where I started. And I'm very comfortable there, so I'm very excited. But also just having the opportunity to have all those shots in my toolbox and all those routes and being able to mix it up, bring a whole new level to our offense. I like being that utility player.
Zuzanna, for you, you're known for your blocking. Is it a mindset or is it something that you love in the game of volleyball?
I think I needed to grow on that. To be honest, blocking is such a hard thing to do as a middle, and I think our team is such a competitive. We have so many competitive players on the team that it helps a lot with that.
Evie, you've said before that you like being someone that this team can lean on and just kind of embrace that leadership role. Mm-hmm. How do you step up to that plate and be the leader for this team, both on and off the court?
I think one thing that I try to lead with is just dependability. Saying, like, hey, I know I'm gonna make mistakes, you're gonna make mistakes, but we're in this together, and I've got your back, you've got mine. And not as much trying to run the team and be the leader, but just trying to be that person that everyone can count on when they're not doing their best or when they feel like they're failing. So just being that uplifting person. Like, I really like to scream and cheer all the time, and that's how I get my energy up. And I feel like that's the best way I can be a good presence on the court for my teammates, is lifting their spirits and assuring them that they can still do it, even if they don't feel like they're accomplishing what they want to.
What are some of the new pillars starting in January when Kelsay came in? What are some of the new pillars for your team?
Some of our team values is Spartan family, of course. I mean, Kristen Kelsay is the epitome of that. Like, she's come in and just immediately, with the new coaches, new players, just made this a home. Like, we go to her house 3-4 weekends already, and it's just everyone in the program sitting there. She cooks dinner, she's a phenomenal cook. And and it's just a great time. There's just so much of a family atmosphere outside of the gym.
Yeah, we have 5 new values, as Evie said: Spartan family. We have also unconditional commitment, sweat equity. I'm blinking.
Oh, now you got me going. Yeah. But I think a lot of
a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely a good one.
I was blanking, but yeah, I think a lot of our values are just around working hard and being committed to each other all the time, and committed to this team, and just constantly trying to get better and better and better, because that's the main goal, is to just end this season better than we are today, and just continue to grow and work for each other and for this program.
Also going over that, I think in January when we came back after Christmas break, Kristen said, she wrote on a whiteboard that the beginnings are messy, and they were messy, but we were prepared for that. And I think also we as a team, we are not chasing a perfection, we are chasing the consistency, and we can all show it in how many reps are we taking. By how many reps are you taking, you are becoming more confident in that, and we want that on the court.
You already touched on that Kristen's had you over to cook a couple times. I'm upset I haven't caught that invite, but I've seen that she's been cooking for you guys. What's the verdict on the best thing she's made? Oh. And what else have you guys done as a team with the new coaching staff, just kind of to build some team culture and camaraderie?
Oh, her tacos were really good. She made steak tacos the other day, or walking tacos. There were options, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's never not options. It's food everywhere. And one other thing we did some team bonding in the spring before we went on summer vacation. That was really fun. It was, we went to like a game place, and we did mini golf and like a Dance Revolution kind of game, and just had a lot of fun and messed around with the whole staff and team, and just built some of that comfortability around each other. So, yeah.
Looking at your upcoming schedule, anything stick out that you're excited about? Any matchups that you're looking forward to?
I always love our match against Michigan. That's just
yeah.
there or at our home gym. It's just so much energy, and the rivalry runs so deep, and just seeing everyone come out for that game and show their support for both teams has been phenomenal. Especially growing up in Michigan, like I know, and we get very into it, and it's just such a special experience because it's usually one of our biggest crowds, and you just really feel the love of Spartan Nation.
Yeah, for me the same. I really want to see us playing against them in Breslin, and I think the best in this rivalry is also having our flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have a bit of a change of scenery this year. You're playing a couple matches back in Jennison Fieldhouse. You've been in Breslin Center the last few years. What does it mean to you to have that opportunity to be back in that historic facility and playing a few matches there?
Yeah, really nostalgic. I mean, it's really special that we get to honor our alumni in that gym where they played, and they broke records and they succeeded so much, and where Kristen played, of course, and I think it's really special for her to be able to experience that again as a head coach and not feel like she's in this whole new environment in Breslin. Being able to start the season off early with that, I think it's really special. And for the girls, all of us who haven't actually played there, I would say when I came in as a freshman, it was our first year in Breslin. And so I grew up going to camps in Jenny, and I'm so lucky to be able to experience a game day in there because I grew up watching that. And yeah, I just think it's so special for everyone, all of the alumni, all of us in this program.
Yeah, that was a great answer.
It was a great answer.
A lot of coaches have said it's a great time to be a female volleyball player in this country. Can you explain why?
Yeah.
I think also for the small girls that are looking up to you, it's always fun to just be their role model and trying to act and behave, and also showing them our culture as a Spartan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I also think the recognition that women's sports are getting now, it shows little girls like you can succeed and be something huge in this country, and it doesn't matter that you're a female sport, a female athlete. That it's still big and still really, really appreciated in this country. Yeah.
Give us a little sneak peek into Spartan volleyball this season. What can fans expect to see from you all when you hit the court?
Oh,
I think a lot of versatility. We have a lot of international students from Poland, Turkey, New Zealand, Czech Republic. So I think to see them on the court, it will be. We are hungry to prove ourselves. We are an underrated team, and we just want to make a statement in the Big Ten finally.
yeah. Yeah, we're excited to get into the gym and lock in and just work our butts off. And you're going to see a lot of intensity and a lot of energy from the court.
Well, I can't wait to watch you guys this season. Good luck. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.